Napoleon was born on the island of Corsica in 1769. He wasn't French by blood, and for most of his childhood, he wasn't even proud to speak French. In fact, he spoke Italian with a Corsican accent, something the French elites mocked him for. He was poor, awkward, and angry, but he had one weapon, his mind. At age 9, he was sent to a French military school. By 16, he was an officer. And while other cadets played cards, Napoleon devoured books, math, history, and most importantly, strategy. He didn't want to be just another soldier. He wanted to command the future. By 24, he was already a general. By 30, he had crowned himself Emperor of France. Not elected, not inherited, crowned by his own hand. His military genius was unlike anything Europe had ever seen. While other generals stuck to rules and formations, Napoleon rewrote the entire playbook. He moved faster, struck harder, and planned like a chess grandmaster who already knew your next move. At Austerlitz, outnumbered, he crushed the Russian and Austrian armies. At Jena, he humiliated the mighty Prussians. And at Wagram, he bent Austria to its knees. He was no longer just a man. He was a symbol of revolution, of ambition, of destiny. But power has a price. Napoleon began believing in his own myth. He divorced his wife, Josephine, to marry a royal and produce an heir. He flooded Europe with his family members, brothers, sisters, cousins, all handed crowns of their own. And when the British refused to kneel, he struck where it hurt, their economy. He invaded Spain and Russia to expand his grip. But it was Russia that broke him. In 1812, Napoleon led over 600,000 men into Russia. It was supposed to be fast, precise, another win. Instead, it became his downfall. The Russian army retreated, burning everything behind them. Food, shelter, even cities, gone. Napoleon reached Moscow, only to find it empty and on fire. Then came winter, frozen, starving, ambushed. His grand army became a ghost. Only 100,000 returned. His dream had cracked. Europe saw its chance. They united, and in 1814, Napoleon was forced to surrender.
No.
They exiled him to a tiny island called Napoleon. The emperor was gone, or so they thought. Less than a year later, he escaped. With just 1,000 men, he landed in France. No one stopped him. In fact, entire armies switched sides to join him. They remembered who he was. He retook power without firing a single shot. But Europe had learned. The kings and generals, once divided, stood united now. And in 1815, at a place called Waterloo, they ended it. Napoleon was defeated, this time for good. They exiled him again, farther this time, to a desolate island called St. Helena. He would never leave. Napoleon died at 51, sick, surrounded by guards, thousands of miles from the nation he once ruled. But his ideas, they never died. He rewrote Europe's laws. He redrew its borders. He spread the Napoleonic Code, a system of law still used in countries today. He was a tyrant to some, a hero to others. To some, he was the destroyer of peace. To others, the light of the revolution. But one thing is clear, he was more than a general. He was a force. Napoleon once said, "Great ambition is the passion of a great character. Those endowed with it may perform very good or very bad acts, but they will never be ordinary. And love him or hate him, Napoleon was never ordinary." I believe we could learn something from Napoleon, that no matter whatever you are going through, don't ever let you put your back on the ground, and remember to always make good decisions. Subscribe if you feel motivated and ready to take the next steps forward to your goals. If you've watched till now, let me ask you, was Napoleon a genius or a monster? Let's talk in the comments and subscribe for more stories that history almost forgot.